Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we having a nice little summer snack, some watermelon, something refreshing before we go eat. We're gonna go eat here in a little bit after Carrie gets out of tutoring. But what y'all been up to? The week almost over, baby. It's almost Friday. What y'all got planned this weekend? Y'all gonna go see some movies? I told Carrie I would take her to go see what's that movie, Bad Guys 2, and now Freaky Friday 2 then came out too. So I'm like, we got 2 movies we need to go see, but we ain't going to go see them in the same weekend. I just broke my nail. We ain't going to go see them in the same weekend. We'll see Bad Guys 2 this weekend, and we'll go see Freaky Friday another weekend. But we want to go do that, and then I'm gonna take her to the Cheesecake Factory. She has never been to the Cheesecake Factory, so I'm going to take her to the Cheesecake Factory. But y'all, what's been up with y'all? How y'all week been going? Y'all don't be responding, but y'all be watching, and I really want to know y'all. Like, I want to know who y'all are. I want to engage with y'all. I understand everybody don't like to talk though, so I get it. You know, I'm one of those people. I'm an introvert, but I'm a natural communicator. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I really like to be alone, but I can sit and hold a conversation. Now, why would he do that? But I can hold a conversation with anybody really about anything. So by the time I'm done though, I do be like, I just need to go sit in my corner, be quiet to myself. Like, social gatherings are so draining for me. But I also enjoy talking to people. That's the crazy thing about it. I enjoy talking to people a lot, but I do be drained afterwards. So, man, y'all, next week we get back to this crazy school schedule. Carrie's teacher called me today, and I'm like, yay, she seemed like she gonna be nice. She seems nice. She sounds nice. I'm worried though because of the area she live in, but we're gonna see how this year goes. I mean, she sounds really nice on the phone. And then one of her other teachers, we already know her, so we know she nice. Ooh, these summer bugs, baby. But I couldn't get her fast enough. I couldn't get her fast enough. I'm sick of these bugs. But we already know her. She hangs out with the moms and stuff in the group, so we've met her. But yeah, I'm honestly not ready to get back to this crazy schedule. I'm not at all, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I really wish I could homeschool Carrie, but Carrie is not for homeschooling. She wants to be around her friends, and she's a social butterfly. A big social butterfly, y'all. I be trying to convince her, like, Carrie, it's okay sometimes to sit in silence. But she don't understand, because she's an extrovert, which is crazy to me because she's kind of like me, but I guess it's just her shyness. When she doesn't know someone, she don't really talk to them. But when she's in rooms that she know, if she know people, the girl is just all out. She just full blown. And I be like, you know when she comfortable, because baby, she gonna talk, she gonna cut up, she gonna dance, she gonna do all the things. Now, y'all, she did tell me like a week ago, she told me I was her favorite parent, Joe. She said, out of you and Dad, you're my favorite. Now, do I believe her? Do I think she told her daddy the same thing? Yeah, I do. But that's how they get us. They try to suck us up. Butter us up. Make us suckers. That's what I'm going to say. They try to butter us up. Make us suckers. So, I do believe she loved me a lot. I do. But baby, we be tussling. Like, she told me she feels like her hormones are what makes her aggressive. Because I be telling her, I'm like, Carrie, you don't always have to have an attitude about everything. Y'all, she's always snapping about everything. And I'm like, you don't have to snap. You don't have to have an attitude, you know. And she's like, I think it's my hormones. That's what she told me today. She said, I think it's just the hormones that's making me this way. She said, I can't control it. I'm like, you can't control it. You need to control it. Because the way that girl's spreading out, y'all, excuse me, you would think I had like a 13, 14-year-old. I got a 9-year-old. And y'all, she's, I ain't gonna tell all her business, but you would think I had a 14-year-old. I'm just, But anywho, I wanted to talk to y'all about something, and I forgot what I want to talk about. I started talking about back to school stuff. Y'all got all y'all back to school stuff done? Yeah. I ordered Kira's clothes online. I ended up ordering them online. I said I'm not. They won't be here until the first day of school, so I'll go get her like 1 or 2 outfits beforehand, and that's it. And we'll wait on everything else to come in, because I'm not dealing with these folks in these stores. And we would have got clothes yesterday when we was at the mall, but she didn't shower like I told her to before we went to the mall. I told her when I left, I said, hey, by the time I come back, be showered, be ready. I come back, that girl ain't did nothing. She's like, oh, that time went by so quick. Girl, these kids, they always want something, but they don't ever want to do nothing. I'm kind of glad school is going to be back in session, but then again, I'm kind of like, I don't really want to be in a routine. I'm glad that she's going to be around her friends and stuff again. I think I just fall asleep. I think that's good for her, you know, being around the other kids and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna miss my stinky butt. You know, I'm gonna miss that, like, being able to spend so much time with her. We had to spend so much time together this summer. And she even said, she's like, this is the most time we've ever got to spend together. I said, it is. We have never gotten to spend this much time together. And we really, really enjoy being able to spend so much time together. Even though we did fight. Baby, did we fight? We fought about everything. Everything is always a tussle with the girl now. But it's puberty, I guess. It makes them like that. But, and I'm about to do it all over again. Start all over again. I hope I get a boy this time, y'all. I really want to be a boy mom. Like, I always wanted to be a boy mom. I want to be the mom at the football games or the soccer games or the baseball games or basketball. Like, I always wanted to be a boy mom. But I got a girl. God saw fit for me to get a girl. But I definitely wanted to be a boy mom. And I think boys are easier than girls. I don't know. Because with boys, shopping is easier. With girls, you got to get so many different types of things and all this other stuff. You gotta worry about breasts and boobies and buttocks and all of that. I guess I just wanted it easy. Like, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, dang, it just sounds like I really just wanted easy parenthood. I guess I just wanted easy parenthood. Or what I thought would be. Because I be talking to some of the, like, the young kids and stuff at Target. Like, this one, oh my God, I pray for his mama. That boy, he would drive me crazy. Just steady breaking something, steady doing something. Just do. That boy just be into stuff. I'm like, yo, po mama. Boy, I know your po mama be stressed out. But, oh, y'all. Parenthood, it's really not for the weak. It's really not. And sometimes I be wondering too, y'all, like, because there's people that can't have children, right? And then God give people children, right? And he'll give people that don't even want children. And I know it ain't for me to understand everything. But I be wondering how he be choosing. Like, I be wondering. I know it ain't meant for me to understand. But I do be thinking about it. I don't know. Because it's a lot. Like, being a parent, you make a lot of sacrifices. A lot. And, you know, that's like, I don't think people realize just how many sacrifices you make being a parent. Like, I remember one time I was doing Kiri's hair and I was exhausted, y'all. And the thought crossed my mind, and I'm like, I'm doing her hair and I ain't even touched my head in like a month. And yet I done did her hair 3-4 times. Those be the sacrifices we be making. And really and truly, I would love to just take her to the salon to get her hair done. But when I did that, that's when she ended up with the dang on dermatitis. And so now I don't want to take her to a salon no more because of that, you know? And if I knew somebody that was like a trustworthy braider or something, I'd take her to them. But I can't get anybody to give me a good reference on a good child braider, which is crazy. Excuse me. Which is crazy. You know, and it sucks because I'm not from here. I don't just know everybody. So I be having to like find people and figure stuff out on my own. And her daddy always act like he clueless. Go figure. Like, you from here. You don't know nobody that can braid. You don't know no professional braiders. Like, not one. Only one you know is your cousin that canceled at the last minute. Like, bruh. But that's part of what, you know, me living with the choices that I made. Because I chose to move here. Away from everything else that I knew. Nobody made me do that. Essentially, I guess. But I made that choice. Nobody like put a gun to my head or nothing and said, you gotta do this. I made the decision and I said I'm gonna do it. So I just gotta figure it out along the way. Our simple lady gave me a whole bunch of these baggies full of snacks. I hadn't even eaten them. I forgot this one was even in the car. I love me a pretzel. But, so, you know, it's part of what you deal with it, you know? There's times that you want to spend money on yourself. You want to do stuff for yourself, but then you're like, no, you know, you got to take care of that, you know? Because, let's see. It's just a sacrifice, period. All my fellow parents, y'all know. You sacrificing your time, your money, your own wants. And at the end of the day, some people don't. Some people don't. They don't make those sacrifices. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a test to see, like, to help you grow as a person. I don't know. But I have seen the selfish stuff online that parents do. Like, I was on Threads, and one lady was talking about how her sister's kids had asked them for money for groceries for like 2 weeks in a row. And she was like, they sent money. And then she seen her sister online, like they sent more money than she should need so that she would have money for groceries for like a few weeks. And she seen her sister post online that she had just booked something at a spa or something like that. And she was like, am I the asshole for being upset about this? Like, your kids just text me again after you made this post saying that they're hungry. And you just made a spa appointment. So there are some that don't. But ain't no way my child would be hungry and I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to get... Baby, I want to feed my baby first. I don't care if it's rice and beans, baby, because I can cook some rice and beans down. I can't figure out if the lighting is off on this or not. But I can cook some rice and beans down. I like to think I make some of the best rice and beans in all this planet. I ain't even gonna say in the state. I'm gonna say on the whole planet. Perfect. The way I put beans and stuff together. I don't be just doing no, you know, I like to try different stuff, different flavors, I just like to try stuff. And so, that's what I be doing. And it be coming out good, it be fire. I made some, boiled chicken and peppers the other day with some, like, tomato fry type rice. Yeah, it was good. I'm sorry. I know I'm just snacking away, but I only had a bowl of cereal this morning. I haven't eaten nothing until we have dinner, so I need this snack. But, there are parents that don't make the sacrifices. And I could not see myself I don't know how anybody could see their child hurting, hungry, and not want to cry. It don't even got to be my child. It could be anybody, a child, period. The way they pull at my heartstrings, I remember one time, y'all, when my nephew was younger, and my sister would bring him in, she would leave him with us, and he ran out of milk. And we constantly calling her and stuff, and we're trying to get, I think it is a glare on there from that sun. We're constantly trying to get her to answer. It ain't gonna fix, so I'm gonna just put it back. We're trying to get her to answer the phone and stuff so that we could get him some milk, y'all. And she's not answering. Okay, anyways, y'all. That just upset me. But she would bring my nephew, BJ, and drop him off with us. And he ran out of milk one time. And I remember us trying to call her, like, hey, he ain't got no milk. She wouldn't answer the phone for him. Nothing, y'all. And I remember my mom being like, just go to the store and go get him some. Go to Walmart. And I was like, I can't because my tax is out. My tax was out, y'all. And I think I was still dealing with my license stuff at the time. And that's when I had got pulled over, I think. So I was really trying to fly on a straight and narrow because I had to go to court because I didn't have my driver's license. But that's a story for another day, not today. We'll talk about that. Just remind me and we'll talk about it. And so I remember just holding him, rocking with him. He's crying. And I was just crying because I knew this baby was hungry. And she wouldn't answer the phone. And so then I said, forget it. You know, I don't care. I'm going to do what I got to do. If I get pulled over, if I get another ticket, whatever, I'm going to make sure this baby gets some food. And I drove up to that Walmart. And I cried the whole way. My sister, my younger sister, Shaniqua, she was in the car. She was like, this is just wrong. This is just wrong. And she holding him because we ain't had no car seat, no nothing, y'all. And she's holding him. And I'm like, God, please just don't let us get pulled over. Please just don't let us get pulled over. And when we went and got milk, you know. So I'm like, I can't see how somebody can be a parent and have a child in this world and not feel sad and not feel hurt. Or maybe they do feel, but they're so hardened. Maybe they are so hardened on the outer side because of things that they've experienced in their own world. I don't know. But shoot, I remember I've only ever whooped Carrie one time, y'all. After that, I whipped my hand. I remember I went to give Carrie a whooping, y'all. I had my belt and I popped Carrie. And I seen this look on her face. The look on her face when I popped her with that belt, y'all. It broke me down. It broke me down. And I just cried. And I like instantly just fell to my knees and just grabbed her and just held her and just cried. And we both just in there crying. Because how am I hurting the very thing I'm supposed to protect? Like, that's what went through my mind at that moment when I seen her face when she was looking up at me. And she had that look on her face. And I was just like, I'm a monster. I said, oh my God, I'm a monster. I've become the very monster that I didn't want to be like. Like, I'm a monster. How can I hurt the very thing that I'm supposed to be protecting? Y'all, and I just held her and I cried. And I never whooped her again after that. Not with a belt. Like, I give a little pop with my hand. A little pop, like, sit down. Stop. You know, all of that. I get a little tap. But nothing that's going to actually harm her or hurt her. And so, but the crazy thing is, anytime I would say, I'm going to get black, she gets some act right up. She'd be like, no, don't go get black. Don't go get black. I'm going to go sit down. I'm going to do, or she going to do whatever I told her to do. And so I guess that one pop did what it needed to do, you know, for all them years. But it was still just seeing the pain on my baby's face. Like, oh, it broke me. So I don't get it, you know. But also, I was a kid of a parent that, I'm not gonna say she didn't make sacrifices, but, well, she didn't, y'all. Because there was times when we were hungry, like, let's say food stamps didn't go through, we didn't get food stamps for the month or whatever, and I can remember a time us eating beans out of a can, and her man going in the room with a pizza and closing the door, locking the door, while we ate beans out of a can and basically scavenged whatever we could. So, growing up with a mother that was like that, you know, and I understand now more about like survival and stuff. Survival makes people do things that they wouldn't do in any other environment. But as a child, growing up and experiencing stuff like that, I always promised myself that I would never be that parent. And that even if I had to give my life for my child, I would give my life, my very last breath for my child. Like, I will go hungry for my child. Like, I always promised myself that I would do whatever I could do to make sure that my child had a better life than I had more resources than I had a head start, the head start that I didn't have. Whatever I could do, I would do. And so that's what I did. And that's what I'm constantly doing every day. Because I promise y'all, these days right now, ship has been real testy lately. Like, I'm so close to walking away and just not caring. I'm so close to it. I really am. I really am. This poor kid keep coming outside. His parents still ain't pulled up yet. I never want Carrie to feel like, I never want her to experience any of the painful things I experienced growing up. And yeah, I know that going through hardships builds character. You know, it makes a person. But there are some things I feel like you just don't have to go through to learn and to understand. You can have somebody teach you, you know. Like, I didn't have to be a teen mom to understand the trials of teen moms, because I seen it around me. I heard about it. My Aunt Kim was a mom at 12. She had her first kid at 12 by a man, I think he was like in his 30s. So I didn't have to be a teen mom to understand that. I didn't have to be what's another example, y'all? Like, some stuff you just don't have to go through. Like, oh, I didn't have to file for like bankruptcy to understand the things about bankruptcy, or, you know. Now, I mean, I grew up broke. I already know what being broke is like, because I grew up broke. I grew up with nothing. So, you know, we fought for everything we got. And y'all, I tried to upload a video too on like Monday, and it would not upload for nothing. And so I felt like that was God telling me to either like take something out, or just not upload it. When I say I tried for days, I used up all my data on my phone trying to even upload it. It would not upload. And I was like, that's crazy, because I didn't upload a video for last Thursday. So I was going to give y'all 2 videos this week. And I couldn't get it. But it was some good, I feel like it was some good stuff in there too, that I shared. So I got to figure out how to get it to upload so I can share it with y'all, because I do feel like it was some good stuff in there that I wanted to share with y'all, that I still want to share with y'all. So yeah, y'all, I don't know. Parenthood is just one of those things that I take so serious, because I felt like I'm not gonna say she didn't take it serious, because now I know that my mom is diagnosed with bipolar. I did not know that until like maybe a year or 2 ago, like 2 years ago, when my sister had informed me, like a year or something ago. I can't remember exactly, but and so now that I know, I can also better comprehend some of the things she did. I can understand some of the things she did and why she did some of the things she did. And so, and I'm not saying understand as far as that they were right, but I understand what made her do some of the things she did. And, when you experience so much trauma, which I would say that my mom did experience a lot of trauma in her life, in her adulthood, as well as in her childhood. I would say she did experience quite a bit, and that can trigger that. And maybe, I don't know, because I remember being young, y'all, and we used to do puzzles on the floor. We used to have this house that we used to call the Big Blue House, that's set by the YWCA or YMCA, whatever. We used to go to Head Start there. And this is when my mom and my dad were married. And my dad worked in construction. And I remember my mom was a stay-at-home mom. We used to lay on the floor and do puzzles while my mom would cook. We would watch my mom cook, and that she actually loved to cook, and she loved to bake, and we always used to make treats and stuff from scratch. Like, I remember that mom too, and so but when you go through so much, it can change who you are. It can change. It doesn't have to change who you are, but it can change who you are. And so for her, unfortunately, it did change who she was, and she never got therapy or anything for any of the stuff she went through. My mom literally almost lost her life one time, and that was tragic, and no telling how many times she almost lost her life, that we don't even know about. That's just one instance that we know about, because one night my mom just didn't come home, and we didn't know what was going on, and she didn't come home. And her younger sister, who never stayed too far from her, came around to our house, and she was knocking on doors and stuff, and we wouldn't open the door, because we, when you was growing up, you was told, no, I don't care who it is, don't open the door for nobody. And so when she left that night to go out with who was supposed to be family, it was her brother's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever, and the girlfriend's family, cousins, sisters, whatever. And she left that night to go out with them, and she told us, she said, don't open the door. So when my aunt came around and she's banging on the door, she's like, y'all let me in. We like, my mama ain't here, you gotta come back, she ain't here. And I don't remember why we end up opening the door, but there was something, I don't know, she might have even came through a window or a back door or something, because we used to have like little secret stuff, in the household, like if you get locked out, if you can't get home, because we was latchkey kids, or what they call it, latchkey kids or whatever, you know, so we would walk ourselves home and let ourselves in and stuff. And so she had like little rules, like if you ever get locked out or whatever, you know, do this and do that. And I want to say my IQ came through a window or something. I can't remember. And she was like, y'all got to come around here with us. And we did not want to go around there with her. Because we, man, story for another day. But, and that's when we found out, when, I don't even think she like really told us. But they end up taking us to the hospital, I think, to see my mom or something. I can't remember how we found out what happened. But we found out. And then later on, my mom told us, or she told me, because she always thought I was mature than my other siblings, and she always thought I could handle the weight of the world, really, it seems like. And she told me, and you know, yeah. And she had borrowed one of my shirts that night when she went out. And I was like, please bring it back, because it was one of my favorite shirts. Because this lady used to donate, her granddaughter used to donate me clothes from Atlanta. Her granddaughter lived in Atlanta. And so I would get all these nice fashions that you couldn't find in Tulsa shipped to me from Atlanta, because once her granddaughter grew out of the clothes, she would ship them to Tulsa for me. And so I had this really cute peach top, y'all. And my mom was like, can I borrow it? You know, I'm going to just wear it tonight. And she's like, I promise I'm going to bring it back. I know how you are about your stuff, but I promise I'm going to bring it back. I know you lying. This better not be the little boy mama. I mean, little boy parent. The one that's been popping his head out the door. It better not be. It's been a little boy popping his head out the door, y'all, for a while. And somebody just pulled up in a Bentley. And I just know that's not your child that's been waiting on you. I know you're lying. Park your car. Yeah, go ahead and park. Because he's getting upset. He didn't pull right next to me, y'all. Because the kid ain't at the door. But he been coming to the door for at least 30 minutes. Yeah. 20 to 30. So, let me see if he go get this little Mr. Billy with your hoochie daddy shorts on. Oh, they look like that's probably his brother. That kind of makes it. Wait, he kind of young to be driving a Bentley. That kind of makes sense though. If it is a brother or an uncle or something, why he late? Because they always be late. He don't look like no daddy. I'm gonna tell you that now. It ain't giving daddy vibes. It sure is him. It ain't giving daddy vibes. It's definitely an uncle or something, y'all. Big brother, uncle or something. I'm gonna go with uncle. I think it's uncle. I'm gonna go with uncle. The way they playing and stuff is like an uncle or something. It ain't no daddy. I tell you that. Anyways, y'all. And then he tried to say, I was driving around and this and this and that. Sir, that boy been looking for you for over 20 minutes. Don't be trying to blame him. Anyways. But she promised me that she was going to bring it back. And so she was like, when everything happened, because she was attacked, now, one of y'all going to have to back up. Yeah, right. Because what you doing? You good? And one of the things they had cut up was my shirt. And she was like, I'm so sorry, Ashley. I'm so sorry. About your shirt, I'm so sorry. Y'all, that was my favorite shirt. I had 2 shirts like that. But the peach one was my favorite because it just looked so good on my skin. But I didn't even care about that shirt in that moment. I cared about my mom. You know, so trauma does make people do things differently, see things differently. But I don't know, y'all. For me, I've experienced a lot of trauma. I mean, I've told y'all a lot of my stories about the stuff that I've experienced. But it made me want to make sure my child never experienced that. I don't play about protecting her. And I protect her from everything, anything. I don't care. Like, if it's giving red flag on the plate, you got to go. Get him out of there. I'm telling you, the way I protect that child with my life. I don't care, and I don't care how anybody feels about it. I don't care who I offend protecting her. Because at the end of the day, it is my job to protect her, and I take that job very seriously. I think it's the greatest job. Why is Nate just here? I think it's the greatest job that God ever gave me. You know, I take that. I honor parenthood. I honor my role as being a parent. You know, I think it was Eric Thomas. He was talking about one time about how people don't honor their crafts anymore. And that's why, you know, people are not as passionate about it. He was like, because they don't honor. He was like, I honor. People ask me how I've been doing it for so long, because I honor it. I honor parenthood, y'all. I really do. And if there's nothing else I ever did right in life, this is the one thing I'm going to try to do right. If there's nothing else I do right in this life, if I'm not the best wife, if I'm not the best home taker or whatever, I don't know, y'all. If I'm not the best worker, if I'm not the best entrepreneur, I'ma always try to be the best mom. Always. And sometimes that comes with your child not liking you. But she is walking out now, so I'm gonna see y'all later, because it ran over long. I will see y'all next week. Bye.